Welcome back to Washington, D.C. Canada's retail sales rose in the month of August. Stores reported a rise of 0.2% to just over $39 billion US. More people spent money on food and drinking, and that made up for weak auto sales. The outlook for the country's retail sector remains to be weak to modest, but retailers are trying to be optimistic. Kristiaan Yeo finds out why.
It's a confusing time for Canadian retail. While monthly sales performance across most sectors is fairly sluggish, retailers are banking on Canada's future feverishly. Retail sales may be largely stagnant here in Canada, but retail real estate has exploded, a trend that's set to continue in 2014. According to commercial real estate analyst Colliers, Canadians have built more than 57 million square feet of shopping centre space since 2007. That's an average of 11.5 million a year.
Canadian consumers are actually spending a little bit less, and consumer spending is slower. So are they going to actually walk into these stores? Is the square footage going to pay off? That's the big question that I think we have going forward.
Microsoft, Nordstrom and Victoria's Secret are just some of the big US names willing to take that gamble, along with discounting giant Target.
They've made a huge push into Canada, and I think what we're going to see is more American companies come as well. So a lot of the square footage that's being developed is going to be housed or taken up by American companies.
The allure of Canada, according to retail analysts, is in the numbers. Compared to American consumers, Canadians have higher median incomes, but fewer places to shop. And by grossing on average almost a third more revenue per square foot than in the US, retailing here is also more lucrative. But there are challenges for a foreign retailer venturing into Canada, as Target has learned the hard way.
Target has received a lot of complaints because it's been very different than the American experience with these big, giant stores that sell about pretty much everything. In Canada, they sell a bit of things here and there, and people have been disappointed.
There are also those patriotic Canadians who aren't driven by price or choice, but by the idea of supporting homegrown companies. That preference will soon be tested by a flood of foreign retailers. But as more American brands jump over the border into Canada, they may discover that the grass isn't all that greener. Kristiaan Yeo, CCTV, Toronto.